guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another favorites video for you, and let me tell you, June was a good month for favorites. I have some serious goodies to share with you, most of which ended up being food, but that's okay. We like food around here, right? If this is your first time stopping by, then welcome. My name is Kate. I'm a health coach and I post videos about a low carb, high fat way of eating, intermittent fasting, and ketosis, and how you can use these tools to biohack your health. I also like doing experiments and other fun stuff. So if you want to see more, make sure to click that subscribe button. My first favorite from June is something that I bought on iHerb. Surprise, surprise. It is this Chipotle Lime Mayo from Primal Kitchen. There are so many reasons this is amazing. Let me just start by saying that I love mayonnaise. A good ham, cheese, and mayonnaise sandwich was my jam growing up. But as I got into high school and stuff, mayonnaise had just a bad rep. And I'm not really sure why. I think because it is high in fat. Anyways, within the last couple of years, when I started really getting into nutrition, I took a second look at mayonnaise and was like, wait a second, it's just made from eggs, vinegar, some lemon juice, salt. What's so bad about that? And I started making my own, which was pretty good. The only problems I started to find when I actually went out to buy it were that most are made with canola oil or some other vegetable oil, which should be avoided at all costs. I think I'm gonna do another video on that because vegetable oils have been something that I knew they were bad, but I didn't know how bad, and I've been doing a lot of research into this recently, and it's kind of blowing my mind. So I think I'll do a whole other video on that. Anyways, back to this, I'm blabbing on. This is sugar-free, canola oil-free, vegetable oil-free. The ingredients are avocado oil, eggs, vinegar, water, sea salt, lime juice concentrate, chipotle powder, garlic powder, and rosemary. So ingredients are excellent. And the taste. This is so good. It is a little bit spicy, and honestly, I am not good with spice. But when it's mixed in with other things, like I made a chicken salad with it, I've just been putting it on eggs, that type of thing, that kind of dulls down the spice a little bit. I'm a wimp though, so you probably won't think it's spicy anyways, but yeah, this is like amazing. Like I said, you can buy it on iHerb, use my code, save a little bit. You can also buy the regular flavor too. The reason I didn't get that one is because I do make my own not my own olive oil, I do make my own mayo. Just wanted to try this flavor. I'd heard good things about it, and oh my god, not disappointed. Next up is something I actually made, but it is the simplest recipe, and oh my god. So I got this recipe off someone on Instagram. Her username I think is Live in Bondi. I will link it down below because she is a nutritionist, and I tried this recipe, if you can even call it that. It is so simple, but I tried this recipe off her blog. I think the title of it was something like crack in a jar, and she was not kidding. So this is toasted coconut butter. Pretty much all you do is grab some shredded coconut, toast it in the oven for less than 10 minutes, throw it in a blender or food processor, and essentially it comes out like a nut butter. But oh, this is so good and so dangerous. I have just been scooping it out of the jar. I really need to calm down. I brought a spoon upstairs just so I could take that thumbnail picture, and what am I trying to say? I indulged in probably 10 or so spoonfuls. And I'm not even sorry about it. But seriously, make this. It is so yummy. Okay, and the next thing I have for you, this is gonna blow your mind, but it is also coconut butter. I'm calling these both coconut butter, but they are very different. The other one I showed you is more like a nut butter, more like a spread. This one is actually, it says whole coconut puree, and I think it is creamed coconut. Let me give it a Google. Okay, so coconut oil is extracted from the coconut meat, whereas coconut butter is made from coconut flesh that's been ground into a spreadable paste. So this, I'll see if you can see it. It's kind of similar to coconut oil. It's maybe a little bit drier and less oily. So there is 1 net carb in a tablespoon of this. I've been using this in raw desserts as a replacement for coconut oil. I've also been putting it in some of my bulletproof drinks. It's not oily like coconut oil. When you heat it up, it becomes smooth, if that makes sense. And it tastes a lot sweeter than coconut oil, even though there is only 1 gram of sugar, which is the only carb in it. It tastes a lot sweeter. So if you're making a raw dessert that calls for coconut oil, I have been opting for this instead. Coconut butter is actually really hard to find, well, at least in Adelaide. I went to my health food store, I've looked online, haven't really found anything in stores. When I was in Perth, I actually found a jar in some tiny little grocery store and I grabbed it. I just finished that one and ordered this one off iHerb. Honestly, this is dangerous too. I've just been scooping this out of the jar too, which is really, really bad, but highly, highly recommend. I did warn you guys that I had some absolute goodies today. I am just over the moon with everything I've showed you. I feel like last month my favorites were a little bit, yeah, I like these things would be the best way to describe it, but this month I am obsessed with the chipotle lime mayo, with the coconut butter I made, and with the other coconut butter. So if this is your first video, you chose a good one. I have one more favorite for you that is, I was gonna say not food related. I guess it's food related, but it's not food. And that is a podcast. A couple months ago, I talked about a book I read that was called Genius Foods by Max Lugavere. Oh, please don't quote me on that. Anyways, really, really good book. All about how the different foods we eat are impacting our brains and our cognitive function. That book actually is what opened my eyes to just how terrible vegetable oils are. So I'm gonna give another shout out to that book. It was my favorite from a few months ago, but still obsessed with it. And the author, Max Lugavere, came out with a podcast a couple months ago. It's been on iTunes for a while, but I don't have an iPhone, and I listen to my podcasts on Spotify if they're there, or else I have another app called Podbean, which is, it's actually not a great app. It's really annoying. I just realized last week that all the podcasts I was following, it's been downloading every single episode and taking up precious space on my phone. I was following the Joe Rogan podcast, and that guy uploads new episodes 3 times a week, and they've all been downloading on my phone. Anyways, I went off on a tangent. That app's not great, but that's what I use to listen to podcasts that aren't on Spotify. The Genius Life, however, was not on either platform. So I've been patiently waiting for it to come on Spotify, and it finally did a couple weeks ago, and I have just been loving it. I'm just gonna read you out some of the topics that he discusses and some of the guests he has on. So, the power of time-restricted eating, aka intermittent fasting, with Dr. Sachin Panda. You know, we're all about IF over here. The foods that can improve your smile, that is with Stephen Lin, who is a functional dentist. Didn't even know that was a thing. How fasting can rebuild your immune system, why you probably need to eat more salt, the crazy link between diabetes and Alzheimer's with Amy Berger, blueberries and ketosis for a better brain. I've listened to some of these, not all of them. This is all stuff that I am super into. And if you follow my channel, I'm gonna assume that you might be into it as well. So that's called The Genius Life, definitely on iTunes. It's on Spotify too. Don't know about other apps because it wasn't on Podbean. Max, the host, is just like a normal guy. He's a journalist, but he has done so much research that he is pretty much an expert in nutrition, especially when it relates to your brain and Alzheimer's. Check out the podcast. If you enjoy the podcast, then I would recommend reading Genius Foods too. All right, I think that is everything. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you have been loving this month in the comments down below. Doesn't have to be food, really could be anything. Just tell me something you're loving. And if you guys don't already follow me on Instagram, then head over there, check out my page because I post there daily. Lots of recipes, food inspo, other health and fitness topics. Come over there and say hi, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.